fact that there's a no back down policy right now.
Look at this. Look at they're both scratching. Who's going to be there?
And Jack's good at this game as well. He'll dive into it. Looks like he made Griffin pay for that for the moment, but he's got to get a giddy up. That thing stretched out and couldn't find the exit. Jack Robinson, such a great barrel rider. Doesn't mean just at pipeline or slabs. He can find it anywhere. And we'll see if Griffin now will turn this into a number. Colapinto with some speed. He'll highline that section. A lot of foam on the face here is going to slow that turn down. And he'll go for a clean re-entry. Doesn't mind an airdrop. So he recovered a bit of that wave with that big free fall hack. And today it's all been about hanging in there for a bonus section. We had Colapinto going for a full road earlier today, where you almost would think you'd run out of gas. But a quick lift there from the Surfshark Hawaiian Water Patrol. Back on the Red Bull ski, and he'll be into action with Jack Robinson in just a moment. Right there, Strider, I was thinking maybe Jack was going to pull off a miracle tube ride. It stretched out a little bit too quick on the reform, though.
Yeah, you can see him. He's like, I'm going into it. Jams down the line, triple pumped into it, and then just thing ate him up. So you're just in there. You get squished by the white water, and, you can't handle it. This wave was interesting because, it started out, looked like he had something laid down, and then it let him down on that turn right there. Then he stayed with it, and he really attacked the lip line right there. So I like that, that he's staying with his choice, right? That was good. I think that, that's a good intent for the heat, and we'll see how this thing plays out.
And also thankful that the whole priority thing is already done.
Yeah,
we can
done
move
deal.
on. That kind of hurt my feelings in the heat with Ethan Ewing, seeing no waves ridden halfway through. How about that single maneuver opportunity, Pete?
It's going to be an okay score, but ultimately I think with the extra 5 minutes in the semifinals, we got 35 minutes. You're going to see these. It's going to take two. In your mind, it's going to be 2.8s, right? Like we saw that in heats before. They're out there. I was just looking at the tide just to kind of get a little understanding. And Hawaii is so unique. The coefficient here literally has 1 to 2 foot tide differences, right, between the high and the low. But it does make a slight difference out here. A lot of surfers will say, I don't even care about the tides out here. And it's kind of true, but with sunset, you've got a lot of water moving around. And when you have just that foot of tide moving in and out, it's going to change the consistency. It's going to change the style of wave, where the waves are breaking on the reef. So, just trying to be able to adjust and realize that. Felt like that one stretched out because maybe a little fuller tide with what's going on right now.
I love
3 p.m.'s high tide.
I love that you're talking about tide because, I feel like it totally matters. It makes a difference in all those little moments.
But it's literally a foot of tide. Like, what I mean? Like, comparison to, say, where we're going next in Portugal, where it's going to be 11 feet of tide difference, right? So it's a huge difference. But it does make subtle little changes, and you got to be able to read that.
As we look at Jack Robinson versus Griffin Colapinto, this is their very first championship tour matchup. It's a semifinal here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. The man in yellow, Jack Robinson, coming off the top. Quick fade. Let's see this thing bowl up, and it's going flat, so a slow start for Robinson. Colapinto opens with a 4.5. And it's good to open Instagram. Find your balance with it, but, when you look at stories and you follow your favorites, journaling. Sometimes that's a private practice for people because it's very personal, but Griffin's been sharing those journals. It reminds me a lot of you, Strider. You're very giving with your social media. Did you read his journal this morning?
I did. Just checking boxes.
I am confident. I am powerful. I am fearless. I am present. Goals for today: enjoy every step, be myself, and have fun.
That was what Whitaker said to me. So, in his corner, Tom Whitaker. I love that he's able to just kind of spell it out for everyone to kind of emulate. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different tools to move through life, right? And move through competition. And Griffin is trying them all. He's experimenting in all sorts of different avenues and finding what's working.
He's found a good path.
Yeah.
I feel like he's on a great, he's in a great place, especially after where he was during the first event. And the headspace he was in.
Let's back up even further than that. Like, how about before the event? Like, remember the couple airdrops to wipeouts that we kept seeing right beforehand in his training? You're like, wait a second, that's not necessarily Griffin's status. Like, and he even recognized it in his interview. He's like going, I was a little reckless. I wasn't having fun. I was focusing too hard on certain things and, like, trying to force it, rather than enjoying it, which is exactly what his his journaling has helped him to establish, right? I mean, it worked.
It's all trying to find what makes you work the best. So Strider, something you tell me all the time, don't get in the way of the world. You know, it's like there's an energy force that's flowing. I feel like Griffin and Jack subscribe
just grab
to
on
that.
and go with it. Woo-hoo, right?
You got to bend to it, right? You got to be like water. And if you're not getting through that one place you thought you were going to get through, just
Do a
go
little
around.
one-arm paddle. Yeah, one-arm paddle around it. Let the current flow you around. And
Let's
next thing
break
you
this
know,
one
you're in
down a
paradise.
little bit. Let's get kind of heavy here. Let's
All right.
put it on the line. You know, turn for turn. Let's find out who's better. You know, if you had to pick one above the lip in the air specifically, Pete, who are you picking in this heat?
I would say Griffin, and it's more out of the backhand portion of his aerials attack. I think Griffin has an exceptional backhand. We saw it when he got his perfect 10 in Portland.
As he got a serious paddle to get into this one. Nice little runway for Colapinto. Sweeping hook on the open face. Set up work off the top. He's got the flow. There's the vertical fin ditch as Jack gets started. Robinson buries his rail completely and goes down.
I feel like the only place that Jack has Griffin is in the barrel. So, that's my view on it. I feel like they're both in a great rhythm and flow this year. I think the adjustments that Griffin has made, in that is benefiting him right now. And I feel like if there's going to be an advantage, it'd be in the tube for Jack Robinson.
And I'd add one other element. I think Jack naturally gets into that state of zenness and where he wants to be to compete, right? I think it naturally happens for him. Whereas I think that Griffin has to kind of figure it out. Has to, like either meditation or, journaling. Beautiful first turn there again, where he's able to just drive the rail and so silky smooth. I mean, you talked about like who, does he emulate? There's so many different surfers, but became his own style, really.
This is some great surfing right here. Super clean. This inside turns all the money, blows the fins out. He's completely disconnected right there, then comes back in for the 50-50 grab, pushes down over. That felt really good. I mean, that was really impressive. And then right behind him, unfortunate rail dig right here. That would have been just a money turn, and he sinks the rail.
Yeah,
so he's going to fall off, roll off, and go over the falls. That was a really tough go for Jack right there because that wave was twice as good as Griffin's.
Yeah, it was a better section, and it was definitely an answer to Griffin right there. And you can already see the score. It's not a huge number for Griffin, but again, advantage right now, early advantage to Griffin.
Something's weird. It's happening. We saw Ethan. This guy is a pure surfer at Sunset, and he was forcing things against Griffin earlier today.
I think it all started with that first two waves we saw this morning that everyone was talking about was Griffin.
It rattled everybody.
Rattled like, oh, now I got to push harder.
Watching.
What a way to put pressure on your competitors.
People post. I posted them. They were, and people are looking. And you got to watch.
All of a sudden, you're like,
opponent.
oh, that's what I have to. That's the level I have to surf at today to beat Griffin.
Nat,
and it just gets in your head.
Jack, they were all in the water. Griffin, that was this morning.
Here we go. More action here. Colapinto finds some room under priority. Overhead section with a ton of speed. The California digs in on the down carve. Back to the lip and crushes it. Hard off the bottom and hammers it shut. Colapinto is in a sweet rhythm today. And Jack Robinson going for the tube. He can find him here at Sunset Beach, all yellow into daylight. Stretched out, wrapping cutback for the man from West Oz and world number one, asking for the Red Bull ski. 23:40 on the clock in this first semifinal, and it's heating up.
Gotta love it. Really gotta love it. And you mentioned in the barrel, Jack Robinson. He definitely can sniff him out. He has a nose for it.
He's a water bender.
Totally.
We all have superpowers.
Every one of us do, huh? What's yours?
Found his.
What's Joe's?
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Okay. That's the fun of it. It's life.
Bending water, I like that. And Jack, I mean, for him, he's used the tube at Sunset to his advantage for many years. Starting with Griffin's wave here, Strider. What'd you see?
This is just money. Straight carving down the rail. They said they're looking at that, then goes to the lip line, and then this finish, bango, right through the lip, comes down with it. Perfect timing. I mean, I really enjoyed this wave because this first turn, he gets it up in the lip line, but then look at the carve out of it, right? He's pushing all the way through, finds more lip line, gets the fins up in there, and then drops out of the sky, and then he comes to this finish maneuver with timing caresses the lip, finesses over the top, and comes back in. That, to me, is like beautiful surfing, and I think excellent surfing.
This man in the Red Bull Athlete Zone, Felipe Toledo, has jumped into Griffin Colapinto's corner. The title race starts now. And this is what Jack did, Pete. What'd you see?
Well, he sniffed it out. You know, the arm drag, and then see how he put the gas pedal on, put the brakes on again. But I feel like, you know, just the barrel is the ultimate in surfing, right? It's the coolest thing ever, but is that, I mean, in between these two waves.
Yeah, score it, Pete.
Right? I feel like, I mean, to me, it felt like the surfing from Griffin was going to be slightly higher as far as the wave. But being that because there wasn't such an intense barrel, but I mean, barrels are such a weird thing. They're cool.
How does it make you feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's time warp, right?
Well, right here, there's this is something that we talked about a little bit going into it, but how well did he find the bending moment where he just had that whole thing bubble up around him? Okay, he made that happen with his positioning and his posture and the feeling, and then came out with a beautiful arc. So, you know, to me, the water benders at work once again.
Okay, so where's your thoughts on that? Is that higher than Griffin's or Griffin higher than that?
I like Griffin's attack of the lip line more, but it's Sunset Beach, and the tube time can give you, you know, a high score out here. I mean, it's very elusive, the tube at Sunset Beach.
I've seen one judge agreeing with you, Strider. There's an 8-8 thrown from Colapinto. And that same judge threw an 8 for Jack Robinson. Keeping you posted on the scores. Almost averaged out for Colapinto's wave. His 4.5's long gone. And it will be excellent, an 8.77 for Griffin. And Jack Robinson in the barrel behind him comes through with a nice, honest number. Excellent scores are something he's familiar with. An 8-point ride, so just under. Griffin Colapinto out in front with priority. 20.5 to go.
I love this. I am so excited because, you know, Pete, you called it, right? You gave the upper hand to Colapinto for his attack on the lip line. He's out there doing those deodorant commercials again. You see him opening up out there.
There's only one judge that basically went higher for Jack. Judge number 4 had an 8.5. Griffin had an 8.2. But other than that, all the other judges went higher on Griffin.
But back to Kelly Slater, Mick Fanning, Joel Parkinson, all the greats. Andy Irons. You knew it's either 8s or lates going up against those guys. And it's the same thing with Jack Robinson right now.
In this generation.
In this generation.
Yeah.
It's 8s or lates. You have to score those kind of excellent scores in order to win these heats.
So cool. What a great time here on finals day, getting close to crowning champions. One surfer's back in a final. It's been a long time for Caroline Marks. Welcome back. She's hanging out with AJ.
All right, Caroline, looking a little bit like Michael Jordan in his flu game out there. I know you had to battle through a lot to get ready for this semifinals. How are you finding the gumption to keep going and find your waves?
Yeah, I'm just I feel like running off adrenaline at this point, and we got some fun waves. The wind's super nice and some clean conditions, and I'm just having a blast.
And I think that we're seeing that in your surfing. Do you feel like you're surfing more freely than you've been able to surf in a while?
I think so. I think obviously, like when you get into the later rounds, like almost the pressure kind of gets let off your shoulders. You know, we have a lot like the beginning of the year with the cut and just like everyone's so good. And, you know, I've never competed at Sunset Beach, so all that's, you know, kind of running through your head. But I'm just trying to enjoy myself and not really worry too much about the result, even though it's hard because you want to do good and you want to, you know, do good in your results. But this event, yeah, I just was like, you know, I just want to have fun and just really try to surf the best I can. And I think that's helped things like flow a little bit more.
How are you going to get ready? Because first time at Sunset, on to the finals. How are you going to get ready for it?
Yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing. Get some water. I've been sipping some Red Bull in between my heats. I think that's been getting me psyched. So, yeah, just literally do the same thing and just enjoy myself. I just want to have fun.
Well, we're having fun watching you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Caroline Marks, into a major final. So sweet to see her come back into this place in her life. It was last year when we heard the news at Sunset that she was actually going to take some time off. I didn't realize how long that would be until she returned.
We all did.
Later in the season.
Well,
I'm almost wondering if she kind of read it from someone from her generation, like Katie Simmers saying, hey, I'm not going to take this spot yet. I have some growth to do. Caroline did the opposite. She was in major events at 14 and maybe saw a little window to be, hey, maybe I'll slow down a little bit and then come back.
Yeah, long career, right? So, I mean, pace yourself.
Well, C-Mac is back.
Wow, big final, a young final. Caroline Marks, Molly Picklum.
Writing's on the wall, ladies and gentlemen. New
Molly
generation.
Picklum
it's so cool,
wins.
though. I mean,
She
we all-
might
this is
tie
sport.
with Carissa Moore for the yellow jersey.
is the generational changes, right? I mean, they're taking, the fact that they're this young, brash group coming up, doing new things, wanting new things and breaking records. And then you have these veterans who are trying to, keep them away, the Groms. And it just lifts the performance level through the roof.
Motion in the ocean, priorities with Colapinto. He has the big lead, looking to better a 5.83. How's this freight train setting up? He attacks the first section. Now it's going to slow down completely. Hug that outside section of the reef well and then just completely slowed down. So Griffin gets out of there.
Yeah, it's just a one-wave set. This first wave, sometimes, like I said, they look so amazing. And then they flatten out, which is exactly what happened in that wave.
I feel like, so just want to point something out here. If Jack Robinson would have taken off by that wave, he would have grabbed the wall, came out and done that same big gouge, and possibly gotten another 8. Is that possible? Could that have happened on that wave? It's just so interesting to watch the different approaches, right? Because, look at this wave. I mean, it's pretty solid. It's got a mean bowl on it. Look at that barrel. That thing was hollow all the way across. He could have come out, maybe done that big gouge. I don't know. It's an interesting, look into the different approaches of the surfers.
Toledo's always watching.
He has no
Always
choice.
watching.
He's got a camera on his mug.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
the
He's
armor,
put himself right there in front of it.
the ink that he's got going on his chest, I asked him about it, and he said it's like protection. He's got the eyes, he's got the triangles for balance, he's got everything going on, and the ink is like his armor because he's been through so much in life. He says it makes him feel protected, which is, I'm so interested because he got so much work done. He said it was 3 days on that table. Wow.
I love it. But everything's meaningful to him, isn't it? It's all
I think
for a
most
reason.
tattoos are, right? I mean, hopefully.
Pardon?
Most tattoos are, you hope.
Well, you never know, remember, Matt Wilkinson had some creative ones. Back to this one. 15 minutes on the clock. Jack
But they
Robinson
mean something.
is looking for a 6.61. It's all about him wearing the yellow jersey. Winning pipeline. Already flowing through a stellar performance here at Sunset Beach and kind of falling on his first waves, but getting back into the seat with an 8-point ride. Griffin's going to roll in on this one. Swift off the bottom. Nice just fading turn to see if this one's really going to get going. He's spring-loaded, punches out the fins. That's not your typical air section by any means.
That's the
But if
Groms.
anyone could do it,
It's got to be the hardest
Perfect
place
count.
to do an air.
Pushing boundaries, right? I mean, no one does airs at Sunset. Oh, Griffin does. That's the thing. That's what the new generation wants to do. They want to do things differently.
I remember when nobody did airs at J Bay and Toledo.
Right?
Got a couple.
Flip the script.
I mean, I love it. I just that's what it's all about, progression. And in competition growing up, I said it earlier. You're just looking for completion, and these guys in competition are now taking it to the next level. Once you get to this point in your career, progression is happening in your heats, and that's where you're at the top of the game.
you can see these two going head-to-head for a good reason. A product of the championship tour schedule, you could say. Lower Trestles is the World Championship event with the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Griffin's backyard, where he throws rotators all the time. And Jack's got Margaret River as his home break with the box, which makes him extra deadly. How close did he come to pulling this off, Pete?
Not totally. That's why it's not always something you see at Sunset Beach, because it's really hard to do. It's a powerful wave. You have to find a certain type of section, and that one was kind of a flatter face. So it's a difficult wave to time to get above the lip, especially when you start throwing up all the wind.
Unbelievable Brazilian battle coming up next. Joao Chianca takes on the defending world champ Felipe Toledo coming up next. Can't wait to play it. You can check out Hurley.com to download. Super Surfers dropping soon. And you can try to surf like Pete and Strider.
Some
It's
big
all
waves
about
on there,
having
though.
good-
See that?
Pardon?
Those are 4 or 5 times overhead.
Gosh, looks fun. Colapinto and Jack Robinson. 10:40 on the clock in this series. We've got Griffin with a solid combined total out front. As we have a deep moment of prayer for the Toledo family.
Good thing to have faith, huh?
Having that belief has been the biggest thing for Felipe Toledo. Makes him grounded, makes him believe through adversity, everything he's been through, all those ups and downs. And that's his favorite place to be. He loves being with his family. Hardest part for him doing his job is being away. Everything he does, all the work he puts in is to provide for them and give him an incredible lifestyle. What an amazing world champ. Toledo has Joao Chianca coming up next.
Going to be an easy task with the way Joao's been performing at Sunset this year. Every heat, big numbers.
And you know, for a big heat like that, AJ is going to find herself a great seat to enjoy it. Where are you, AJ?
We're over here at the Turtle Bay VIP area at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, and there is so much energy up here. It matches what we're seeing in the water with an epic finals day. Turtle Bay has everything you could want up here. They've got cold water, they've got great views, they've got a great atmosphere going on, and they've honestly been great this entire event. This place has been the best spot to watch the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach and anything else you could want on the North Shore. So special shout out to Turtle Bay for all they've done to help make this event an amazing experience. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much, AJ. What a great spot to hang, you know, for the Turtle Bay as well. It's the locals love hanging there, having staycations. As we go back into yellow, Jack Robinson needs a 6.61 for the lead. Coming off the front side hook, once again, finds himself pulling in. That one's going to take him down, and that leaves Griffin wide open. Big sweeping off the bottom to set up that wrapping cutback. Colapinto lets the fin slide on that lean back. Throws it vertically. Absolutely crushing his points on this wave. Will carve it, and why not celebrate? Yeah, you hit that one out of the park, kid.
He's definitely improving on the 5.83. Worked out really well. He was able to choose the right wave in that set. And how deep were those bottom turns? I mean, he was going so far down. You're like, how's he going to have the acceleration? But he did. He had it. Came off the bottom, and just a great mix of all different angles and slides and carves and little lip drifts. Right? There was like the carve. Yeah, we'll get to see it right here. But that was amazing stuff.
Strider?
Let's just let that surfing do the talking. I mean, like Pete said, he drove hard off the bottom, and then he tried to literally spray Jack right there. That was a grunt right at his opponent. Then he went straight to the lip line, throws the fins, and then he finishes off with a little gouge. You know, look at that. That was just straight out of the park, dude. That was a home run. Might even have been a grand slam.
Bam.
The variety, right? That's the one thing that is so cool about this wave. There's the carve, the layback snap, then he sets it up, the lip drift, right? So 3 separate styles of turns, and then that one there was just an underneath carve. But again, like almost vertical in the way that he did that.
Well, and this is Jack's wave, so he's selling it to Jack. He's like, I'm gonna go. And so Jack says, you know what? I'm not gonna give it up again. He does a great carve right here. The wave lets him down because it kind of hits some deeper water. Usually he's popping through that. So the water bender just, something happened to the superpower
look at the number
on that moment. And wow, Joe, what do you think?
9.13 for Griffin Colapinto.
That was a grand slam.
17.9 total. I love
Bases
that.
were loaded, and he let one go to the fence.
It's like 7th inning, though. 7th inning stretch. He still got the 9th.
It cleared. I'm going to go out on a deep limb here and say that this thing is over.
Already?
Wow.
6.5 minutes.
Yep.
Jack,
Already
did you hear that,
putting this
Jack?
one away.
Strider just called you out, kiddo.
This thing is in the 110 Yeti cooler.
Huge performance for, I mean, that's saying a lot, Strider, because when you look at Jack Robinson, a man who featured in the Rip Curl WSL finals last year, world #1, he's had 6 semifinals, this being his 7th, and he's won 5 of them. He's unbelievable. The only one he lost at this stage of the event was Bells Beach against Callum Robson. So he's oftentimes just taking over the energy, where we're seeing a rhythm for Griffin. He's somehow been able to get Ethan Ewing and Jack kind of off their game on finals day today.
It's an even bigger call because Jack is notorious for last-second blows.
Oh, and look at you.
Notorious.
And you're sitting here betting against it already.
You know what? I'm not. I'm just, that's the feeling I got. So I threw it in the 110 Yeti cooler. I go out on a limb all the time,
I
Pete.
know. We all do.
That's a big branch.
I do
There's
want
plenty
you to,
of time.
I do want to point this out. Griffin Colapinto, when he was having, when the bigger day happened, he was driving off the bottom and hitting lip line on severe sections. Wow. Really heavy. So the confidence I think that he takes from that into these conditions is why he's able to attack the lip line so well right now. I mean, I see a lot of, I haven't really seen Jack in the lip. I've seen him doing some big gouges on the face down, but I haven't seen the type of surfing that Colapinto's done, that he's doing. So that's what I want to look. That's the way Jack will get back into this, is by going for those vertical climbs and the water bending in the barrel.
I am confident. I am powerful. I am fearless.
And I'm up on a wave. Griffin Colapinto off the bottom sets up that beautiful hook. What a rhythm he is in with Sunset Beach. Lays it into the pocket with authority. And now times the end section. Everything going right for Griffin. The world number one trying to catch up to the pace. Set up down carb, blows the tail out. Solid looking two-turn combo for Robinson. Trying to crawl his way back in the heat. He had a wave with some size. Judges love that. He attacked shorter wave, but really tall sections.
Caught his ski, and now he's walking on it. Wants to paddle. He's going to try and beat the ski out.
Try and beat the ski out the back. This is
Might be
going
a
to
good
be.
call.
This is the most important point of this heat. So if Griffin gets to the lineup first, it's definitely in the refrigerator.
You already cooled it.
If he doesn't, then Jack can have an opportunity to catch one more wave.
Here's the race. Look at bottom of your
This is a
screen.
big
Yellow
decision
jersey.
here. We saw how much it paid off for Caroline Marks when she received priority in the matchup with Gabby Bryant. That basically shut the door on Bryant.
This is the angle
For Jack to have a chance, he needs to get priority here. So that was quick thinking to see if he can beat the Red Bull ski.
I almost feel like, though, this could, like the score coming in for Griffin, if it goes better than the 8.77, all of a sudden, Jack needs a 9.9 at this point. And it's not going to change unless Griffin adds, what, a tenth of a point?
Anything.
Yeah, right? A tenth of a point, he makes it out of reach.
I mean, he surfed that wave really well. Look at, he's looking back. Look what he's like going. Wait, I'm here. What's up? Who's got it?
He's waiting for the Apple Watch to buzz on his hand because that's what happened.
up there. He is real, man. This is intense.
Griffin Colapinto still working on priority here. Jack Robinson decided not to take the Red Bull ski. Priority not decided yet. They've got the Apple Watch on in real time, and they can also check this board there. Priority does go to Griffin Colapinto. So he's got the 913.877, and still his last score to come through. We're waiting for lasted Jack as well. 2:15 to go as we take another look here, starting with Griffin's wave, Strider.
Yeah, this is under priority, so he's got nothing to lose. He's going to lay into it. Beautiful bottom turn, gouges the corner, whips it back into the power pocket, looking for lip line again. Rah, big layback jam, and then he's going to finish on the inside here in the lip line. So blasting over that. That was a beautiful return combo.
Compares to Jack's wave. Pete, what'd you see?
Well, Jack's bigger wave and a much stronger finish move. So Jack's going to get his second number, but I just don't see it going all the way up into a 9.9, which is what he needed.
Scores coming through from the last exchange. Griffin slightly better, but he doesn't need it. He has two better numbers. Jack needs that number. 8.33 is his best so far in the semifinal. And now without priority, he still needs almost a perfect score. 9.57 to move on.
Crazy stuff.
Can you guys see the cooler over here? I'm going to open it up.
See.
Pretty sure. Yep.
Jack's in there?
Jack's in there.
You did bring up the buzzer beaters that Jack has had. He had two of them back-to-back on finals day at G-Land last year.
It's not going to happen.
Against Toledo and Medina, by the way. Saying there's a chance.
There is a chance. But priority, it's clock. Mother Ocean, look at, he's going to...
There is a set coming.
Is there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's lines. Look at those lines out there, dude.
Can Jack do it again? He's one of the best guys with less than a minute to go to believe that he can get there.
Are you not entertained?
He's got some space on Griffin. Remember, Colapinto can shut him down because he has priority. Good news is set's coming in with plenty of time. Griffin doesn't really have to make a move there.
Now he does, though. Now he can just block it and win. There's not enough time for 2 airs.
You sound like you wanted more, Pete.
I do.
Who doesn't want more, dude? I mean, this is
We got another good heat coming up,
and
though.
this is a lot of fun,
10
and this is
seconds.
what we love to see.
Griffin's going to shut this one down using priority on this wave. 9.13.877, throwing away an 8.47. And the big news, just throwing off the favorites throughout finals day. From Ethan Ewing to world #1 Jack Robinson. Jack will run out of time, and Colapinto will move on into the final here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. This wave caught just after the horn for Jack Robinson. And for Felipe, that's exactly what he was hoping for. The title race starts right out of the gates. And he wants to catch up to that yellow jersey. Griffin putting on a show today on finals day with a shot to win this event here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. Toledo takes on Chianca right after this. We'll bring in Kaipo for the call.